Welcome back to another episode of Rock Boys Football. Lincoln Riley, the USC Trojans, land another commitment in the 2025 class, coming from three-star wide receiver Romero Ison, a very interesting prospect where you look at On3, they have him as a four-star wide receiver, a top 300 player nationally, and you look at what USC is doing. We've talked about this for the last couple of weeks, going into whether it's the Big Ten, whether it's the SEC, their backyards, and just rating some of the top talent. We talked about what they did in the state of Texas, in the state of Georgia. You take a look at Romero Ison, one of the top targets for Penn State. Penn State, a program that usually dominates the state of Maryland on the recruiting trail. Lincoln Riley going across the country and landing one of those top targets. Can't say enough how impressed I am with Lincoln Riley and the staff on the recruiting trail, recruiting nationally, having top guys coming from all over the country to play with this USC program. Want to get into Romero Ison, talk a little bit about what he brings to the table for this USC offense. Before we do, and as always, just want to say thank you to you guys. A massive shout out to the USC fans. This USC commitment sweatshirt over the last 2 weeks has been put to absolute use. It's starting to smell a little bit, but in Lincoln Riley not giving me a chance to throw the sweatshirt in the washer. It's been a blast talking this USC program on the recruiting trail. Cannot thank the USC fans enough for all the support. If y'all do enjoy the content and enjoy the updates, consider subscribing to the channel. And for USC fans, we'll talk about Bear Alexander probably tomorrow morning. I wanted to let the kind of rumors play out. It sounds like it might happen, so we'll address that a little bit later. But let's get into Romero Ison. And this is a guy that really exciting, kind of offensive weapon, a guy that's going to play wide receiver at the college football level. But you take a look at just the pure production at the high school level as a junior, a guy that had 46 carries for over 465 yards. For those that don't want to do the math at home, 10 yards per carry. Then you take a look at him as a pass catcher, 69 catches for over 1,400 yards, averaging over 20 yards per catch. Romero Ison is a guy that can get it done in a multitude of different ways, and we're going to turn on the film, take a look at what he brings. What I love most about Romero's game is, so many different ways that you can put him to use in this USC offense and really attack defenses in a lot of different ways. A guy that excels creating separation and operating after the catch, but also a guy that has a 10-8 100-meter dash, a guy that can work vertically down the field, tracks the ball extremely well to go along with it, a multi-versatile offensive playmaker, and you're starting to see USC really value these kind of guys on the recruiting trail where, hey, give me the best athletes across the country, get them onto this USC program, we'll coach them up, we'll get them involved in this team, whether it's on the offense or defensive side of the football. Prioritizing athleticism in a sport that is a height, weight, speed game is always a good way to go, and that's exactly what this staff is doing on the recruiting trail. And you get into the film a little bit. First thing you kind of see from Romero Ison is the ability to work from the slot and be a guy that I'm going to create separation early. I'm going to be a quarterback's best friend. And when that quarterback hits me in stride, I'm going to be extremely dangerous after the catch. And you look at this USC offense, it is predicated on getting the football out quick, two playmakers in space, letting them do the rest. You take a look at Romero Ison, you start to see the 100-meter times on the film, and this dude has some absolute burners when it comes to straight line speed, but so clean with the football in his hands as well. And then you talk about, all right, he's not only a guy that is working after the catch, he can win vertically as well. Not the biggest wide receiver, but a guy that you take a look at those tracking abilities, being able to go up and make those contested catches. Now, I want to freeze this real quick. This is probably my favorite rep on Romero Ison's film here, where you talk about wide receivers and what we look for. We like to see quarterback-friendly wide receivers, guys that understand how to sit it down in zones and make it easy for quarterbacks. You see the quarterback trying to break the pocket a little bit under duress. Romero Ison going to settle it down right in between this zone coverage, present himself to the quarterback, and then create some space. And then after the catch, this kid is just so electric with the long speed, but not only that, the short area quickness, the ability to get in and out of his breaks. And then you see him as a ball carrier, as a running back. You're going to see Romero Ison get some end arounds and get involved with the football in his hands. So clean with the football in his hands, making people miss, getting in and out of his cuts. This is a guy that is a multifaceted offensive weapon for USC And we say this all the time. USC and Lincoln Riley, they want these kind of guys on their team because Lincoln Riley knows how to use these kind of guys. Again, after the catch, being so dynamic, a guy that when he has grass to operate with, he is going to make plays. And Lincoln Riley putting a high priority on getting guys that can make plays with the football in their hands, again, on punt return, getting it done in special teams as well. Not sure he should have been fielding that. Fields it anyways and gets it done. This is a guy, you take bad angles, he is going to make you pay. And you take a look at what USC is doing in this 2025 class. And I mean, we've broken down pretty much every single commitment in this 2025 class. I cannot tell you guys how impressive Lincoln Riley and this USC staff have been on the recruiting trail over the last couple of weeks, or going into the state of Georgia, you go into the state of Florida, Texas, and you take a look at some of the guys that they're prioritizing specifically on the offensive side of the football. We talked about WR Morris the other day, another guy that's similar to Romero Ison. Hey, with the football in their hands, I mean, these are some of the more explosive playmakers at the high school level. WR Morris, not really sure if he's going to be an all-purpose back. Is he going to be a wide receiver? To me, it doesn't matter. Let him get onto campus. Let Lincoln Riley get his hands on him and kind of figure out the best ways to get guys like this involved in the offense. I think Romero Ison certainly in that category, a guy that can win, pushing the ball vertically down the field, can create separation early in his route trees. Not only loving the players, but loving the process for USC and the kind of guys that they're going after. Again, we'll keep you guys as updated as possible with what USC is doing on the recruiting trail. We'll talk about the Bear Alexander news, maybe even later tonight. Cannot thank the USC fans enough for all the support, though. If y'all do enjoy the content, enjoy the updates, consider subscribing to the channel. Appreciate you guys, and we'll talk to y'all later. Peace.